Hello, Mr. Gheorghiu.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. Happy New Year.
Thank you, the same to you.
Thank you, thank you. So you said because we celebrate a few
Well,
days
it's
since.
a very sad day for the chess world. January 17th is the day when Bobby Fischer died. So therefore, I thought it was a very beautiful idea to present only his games this time. The
So
games
we'll have
are
7 games
we
only
have
with
7 games only from Bobby. Yes.
Perfect. And there are some games which are not very well known,
Yeah,
right?
they are well known, but a little bit forgotten because everybody knows now. Of course, the games
champion,
against World Championship, against Paske, against Petrosian, the matches against Taimanov and Larsen, and so on. These ones are also very beautiful games and very interesting, but a little bit different. We'll see.
Okay, so here is against Benko, right?
This is against Benko in the American Championship in '65. Of course, the championship was easily won by Bobby, and the game will be very interesting because finally it will be beauty prize. You'll see.
So here was before World Championship.
Yes,
He was
it was in '65. He was also 1 year before the Olympic Games from Havana, from '66.
when you met first time.
Yes, we met first time, and Bobby played a fantastic Olympic Games in Havana. But this time, of course, he won the championship easily, big margin, I don't know, 2-3 points difference. And the game was against Benko was no exception. Benko avoided, of course, the Sicilian, and he played Spanish this time against his opponent. And we'll see the game.
He avoided because Bobby was considered
Bobby was considered the best player in the world, even then, against the Sicilian and for black for the Sicilian. I mean, when he played black, he had also very good results. He was considered probably the best player ever in Sicilian, I mean, for black. And when he played white, of course, many beauty prizes and so on, Well, this one is one of the main lines from Spanish. Here is the first moment when black could play something else. The possibility is to play immediately castle, and now after c3, we have the martial attack with d5. Well, very complicated. Black gives a pawn for initiative, very complicated games. Usually the games are even now, you see, because there are a lot of analysis and a lot of games played with the computer and so on. But then it was considered very unclear what could happen,
So he played more safe.
But d6 is safe, of course. So c3 castle, and now h3, the main line. Okay, so knight b8. This is the so-called Breyer variation for black, when black goes back with the knight and puts the knight later on in d7. This is the idea. Okay, it's playable, of course. d4, knight d7, knight h4. This, again, here, the main line is knight bd2. Knight e4, knight h4 is a little bit more aggressive. And now black has to be careful already, because if white has time to come quickly with the knight in f5, is already very good for white. So black has to avoid this. And he played normal, knight b6. Okay, knight b6 is a good move.
Just to attack.
To have the possibility to give immediately the bishop from c8 against this knight. So knight d2 gives the chance to take a pawn, but good chances for attack for white, For instance, now after knight takes e4, black wins a pawn. Knight takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop takes h4, queen h5. Very complicated. White with the pawn less has a very good attacking chance, so it's complicated. So Benko didn't like to take a chance like this and played safe again,
But you cannot take here with the rook, no.
With the rook, you lose the pawn, because the bishop from h4 is protected from the queen, So again, you lost the pawn. No, with the knight is better. With the knight is better because you have the possibility to go out with the bishop, from c1.
Yes.
Okay, c5. Okay, this is theory again. So he took in c5, and now knight f5. Now, knight f5 is good because if you go back, you lost the tempo. It's no good. You played knight h4, knight f3 is not good. So knight f5. So he took in f5, he took in f5, and now queen c7. And here you have to take a decision with white. White is a little bit better, but you have to continue what to do. So he continues normally with this move, which seems to be a little bit risky, but it's not risky at all. It's very good, g4. It seems to be a little bit risky because you have the king in g1.
Yes.
But black can't do anything against the king. So therefore the move g4 is good. And later on he threatens to play g5, g5 and knight in e4. This is the idea for white, you see. So of course he doesn't give you the possibility and he plays h6. And h4 he continues. Again, he wants to play g5, So now what to do? c4, bishop c2, of course. And now knight h7, which he retreats the knight. He wants to block the black squares, you see.
Yeah.
So now you have to play probably knight f3 because you can't push g5, you lose a pawn. You can't push h5. h5 is possible, of course, but it's bad because then black has a good idea to put a piece always on g5 and he controls the squares,
Yeah.
So you have to keep the position open with white, you see. This is the main line. Okay, knight f3 is normal. And now f6. f6 is a little bit strange, you see, because with the knight in h7, you control the square g5 4 times.
Yes.
White can't push the pawn because it's impossible for the moment. But it's very unpleasant, the position for black, because it's a little bit artificial, It keeps all the squares. I mean, you can't push immediately. You can't defend the position for the moment, but it's a little bit unpleasant all the time, you see.
Yeah.
You suffer in this kind of position with black, you see. You don't have any counterplay, any efficient counterplay. So therefore, Fischer comes back with the knight in d2, very normal, because he wants to put the knight in e4. This is the idea, you see. So, okay. Until now, everything is okay. White is better. Rook d8 now. Queen f3. What did he play here? h5. h5 is very risky, in my opinion, and probably a small or a big mistake. Depends, you see. Later on, we'll see it was a big mistake because it was against Bobby. You can't play like this against Bobby. He didn't like the position, probably because of the reason that I told you before. I mean, he had to wait. Very unpleasant position. He didn't feel well.
He wanted to feel
and he wanted to do something with black, And he thought that it's possible here to give white the possibility to have domination on the white squares, and he has domination on the black squares. But he opens the G line, you see, and it is very dangerous against a very strong player like Bobby. And the king is still on G8. Even G8 or H8 is the same. It's under attack, you see.
Yeah.
And it will be very dangerous in a few moves and very easy for white to play such kind of position. So white, of course, he takes in H5 now. Now knight d5. Well, it seems that it more or less is all right for black because now he wants to come with the knight in f4. This is the idea.
Yes.
Now, of course, he plays knight e4. No?
Yes.
And he continues knight f4. Now what to do? White gives the bishop, normal, He gives the bishop in f4, takes.
Yes, second.
Yeah. He takes. Now everybody plays on his color. I mean, white on white color, black on black color, you see. So now, of course, king h1. Okay, king h1. What to do now with black? You have to move the king probably, or continue with the rook d7 or rook e8 or something like this. But now you have to be very careful because white comes very quickly, you see, on the G line, you see. So rook g1, and now rook f7. He realized that it is dangerous, but it's a little bit late, you see. So he comes.
He realized that there will be
in a few moves, the g7 pawn will be under attack, very unpleasant. And it's also the threat to play h6 with white, you see. So what to do? Rook f7, rook g6. After rook g6, white has the possibility to let the rook in g6 and give the exchange for mate attack, for a mating attack. Also very unpleasant, probably mate already in a few moves. So therefore, the position, in my opinion, is already almost lost for black. Here, you see. So bishop d6, he must do something, on the black squares. Okay, so rook g1. So bishop f8. Okay, he waits again. And h6. Okay, he opens the line. Now he can't take because he's mate already in g8, you see, if you take in h6.
Yes.
So you have to accept the fact that the position is bad already, and you have to give the second pawn on g7 with a small hope to escape because it will close the g line for the white rooks, But it's too late, we'll see. It's very, very dangerous already, and the position is, without any hope for black, you see. So we'll see now how quickly can Bobby win such kind of position. Queen g4, very good. Now, very normal move. So black has to wait again, with rook d7. f3. Now everything is under control. The position is almost zugzwang, you see. Why? Because the knight from h7 doesn't do anything. The bishop from f8 must, protect the pawn from g7. So white has free hands here. I mean, only white can play, you see. So, all right, bishop g5, bishop c5. I mean, with this small hope to, to close the line, you see, this is the idea. Okay, and now we'll see the last moves. Knight takes, very good. It seems a little bit strange that he gave the knight, such a fantastic knight from e4.
Yeah.
But now the bishop becomes very, very strong on e4. Again, another piece on e4. So now he took in g7. He took. Now check, of course. King g8. Okay. For the moment, is no mate. But everything is there, everything is prepared for the final blow, So now queen g6. He prepares the final combination. We'll see.
Yeah.
So queen g6. Rook d8. Okay, bishop e4. Now the position, not only that he has 2 pawns, white has 2 pawns, fantastic position, and the black is almost zugzwang here. He doesn't have any move, you see. So now he played, probably he saw it, the position is hopeless completely, but he gave the possibility to finish the game very beautifully, So he played queen c8, and now the last blow, queen e8 check. Now you have to take.
Oh, nice.
And bishop d5 check. And now you lose every piece.
Yeah, he resigned here.
He resigned because now it's forced. Bishop d5. Now rook e6, the only move. And now bishop takes with check, queen takes, pawn takes, and okay. The result is terrible,
Oh, okay.
Well, everything is forced, Has to take, takes, and no move at all. You have to move a pawn because otherwise the knight has no moves at all, e7 and okay.
Yes, you're right. So
Zugzwang, complete zugzwang.
yes. Yeah, the knight can move, the king cannot move.
No, zugzwang, complete zugzwang.
Yes. But beautiful sacrifice here.
Yeah, well, it was very simple, but it was very nice.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful game.
Yeah.
Well, it was Benko's specialty. Benko played many games against Bobby. He was a very strong player. I mean, probably in that time, second, third player from the United States. And he lost a few games with beauty prize like this, I mean, very spectacular games.
So
I don't know
was the
why.
specialty of Benko to give...
Okay. I was joking, but
yes.
In a few games, he lost in such a way,
Yeah.
Always
nice.
in beauty prize.
Yeah.
It was very, very nice move. It's a queen e8 check.
Exactly, yeah.
Very beautiful.
Works.
But very simple,
Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
You're welcome.